of you to prepare 3. Ben, I prepared 7. So we'll go through.
Charlie.
Yeah, we'll just have a zag dump at the end.
Yep.
Charlie can spit out all of his ridiculous ones. So the first one I'm going to start with is a trade. So there's lots of players that I think could potentially be traded. A.J. Brown, I don't think would be a shock. Ayuk is on the board. I don't think that'd be a shock. Crosby, possibly. I don't think that would do much waves because I don't think you're getting a first rounder for him right now. But I'm going with the biggest and I believe very likely move of Myles Garrett getting traded to the Chicago Bears.
Oof.
That's how you start out a zag pod.
I also have a Myles Garrett trade.
Oh,
man. And mine is better.
Hold on. Don't step on my trade.
Yet.
I was in the middle of watching Ben react to my shocking trade. Hey, I did it too.
I'm just saying,
and mine's better?
You said that's how you start a draft zag. And it's like, okay, real original there.
I'm realizing that I didn't come with heat the way you guys came with heat. I'm going to need to punch some of these up.
Nah, you don't got to punch him up. But, I mean, I think they did the contract adjustment. They also were in conversations, the Browns, that is. They also were in conversations with the league about trying to
formally petition.
Yeah, extend the window for how many draft picks you can actually trade. It seems that there's nothing about what they're doing right now that suggests that they're making a run, and it seems that they are messaging quite clearly that they're interested in moving Myles Garrett. The reason why I think it's going to happen on draft day is I get the sense that they're going to wait and see who's available. If there's a suitable replacement in the mock draft that I did this morning, which I had a surprising amount of fun doing. It's a very Charlie exercise. I was mad that I liked it, but Ruben Bain slid to him. They trade Myles Garrett to the Bears for 3 first-round picks, and they draft Ruben Bain, which, of course, no one's a Myles Garrett replacement, but it's a suitable placeholder, someone who's younger, who can be there for if they are making a run and building a team.
That defensive line would have such tiny arms with Ruben Bain and Mason Graham.
Well, I think the most interesting part of it is what it does for the Bears. I narrowed it down. I wanted to do a Myles Garrett trade because of what I said about the Browns. Mm-hmm. They obviously seem to want to trade him. And so I narrowed down the teams to a few teams, and I thought the Bears were a team. I wanted to go with the Bills because I feel like Bean's back's against the wall right now, and he's the type of guy that would go all in. But I assumed that 3 first-round picks from the Bears would be more attractive than 3 first-round picks from the Bills, and the Bills need more options. So that's where I went. What do you think? You still busy punching up over there, Solak?
Well, I was making sure I understood the contract move and how much more or less likely it makes the trade. Because I still just don't think they'll move him. I think that if you are Barry, you have to win games in order to keep the job. I don't think trading Garrett gets you to keep the job. You keep Garrett, you pray you get anything out of the quarterback position, you win enough games to keep the job for another year, and then if and when you lose the job and somebody else takes it, then it's his job to figure out the Myles Garrett trade, and that's not on you. The only
actually don't. I mean, maybe I'm not sure that Andrew Berry is under as much pressure as we would think he is, considering their success rate.
At some point, right? I mean, he's had the job. He's like top 5 longest tenure general manager right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that they're on the same page. Him and Jimmy Haslam appear to be on the same page. Mm-hmm. And the big debilitating decision that was made, most of the decisions that Andrew Berry's made have been pretty sound. The big debilitating decision he made was one that was made by the owner. So, I think Andrew Berry might be safe. But either way, I think this trade is possible. The Bears have 2 second-round picks this year, so maybe they could package that up. They have enough to get it done. They have a number of really talented players on their offense, and Loveland and Burton, and obviously Caleb Williams, who are on rookie deals, so you do have the flexibility. Jalen Johnson comes off the books next year, which I think he might be the most has the biggest cap hit on their defense. You pair Garrett with Sweat, and your defense goes from one that is completely dependent on turnovers to one that I think can dictate to offenses, and it makes them a much more serious contender. I think it makes sense all around, and it could potentially happen.
I want to hear Charlie's.
Mine's much less likely to happen, but it's way more awesome. And it's we're trading Myles Garrett to the Rams for Puka Nacua.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
And I'm going to tell you why. Their contracts, it's not going to be a big financial swing either way with the contract Puka Nacua is about to get. The Browns are going to get the best receiver in the Mount Rushmore, the top 4 receivers with Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and JSN in the NFL. And they're going to be down for another year when they trot out Deshaun Watson, they lose a bunch of games. And then they're going to be at the top of this quarterback draft going into 2027 with an offense that will have Judkins the year after the injury, a receiving core of Puka Nacua in his prime, plus Isaiah Bond, plus Harold Fannin, and we're going to look
Isaiah
up
Bond
and say,
is
Andrew
crazy. Isaiah Bond had 17 catches last year.
And they were loud. They were a loud 17 catches. And then we're going to say, holy Andrew Berry did it. He set this up to be the most quarterbacks friendly situation possible for Arch Manning when we bring him to Cleveland.
At first, before we rip Charlie, I want to say I appreciate you, Charlie. I know you brought some good bombshells because you were concerned and you wanted to make sure we had a good show. But that's
yeah.
Why is that?
Because I don't see why the Browns would want Puka Nacua.
What do you mean?
Because I think that the point of trading right now for the Browns is to get draft picks and potentially project
set up a nice situation for the quarterback they draft in 2027.
I'm not even going to be hard on you. I should be hard on you because you on my proposal with a proposal that's worse.
Do you want
no
to hear
matter how you look at it?
Do you want to hear my other?
No.
My other Puka Nacua trade?
You didn't have to come in hot on me. You came in hot on me, and then you followed it. Like it is as if you had the worst hand in poker and went all in. You just started talking me and then put your cards on the table. It was like, what is that? It's just a random collection of numbers and signs.
Yeah, I'm taking 3 firsts from the Bears way before I'm getting Nacua to then have to extend him. And then I also don't have draft capital because you said all for Arch Manning. What happens when the Browns get the 3rd overall pick and not the 1st overall pick? Now it ain't all for Arch Manning anymore, right? And I need the capital to make sure I can move.
Then they get Julian Sayin.
Oh, I think if Downs at 10, he is a Cincinnati.